Hello guys, it's Dmitry here, and today I will continue my new course, which is essentially it's about React and Node.js full stack application. During this course we're going to build a fully functional application with a front end, and front end is going to use React.js library, and on the back end I'm going to use Node.js, and beside that, I'm going to run Express.js, Node.js, like the server. Yeah. So and also, overall, the application is going to utilize database, and I'm going to use Postgres. So let's jump into that, guys. In this tutorial, I will show you how to set up and run our front end or Node.js part of the app, or the actual front end, right? Using Node.js and also using webpack. So because webpack essentially it allows us, what it allows us to do, it allows us to run the server as a development server, right? It allows us, for instance, to make configuration, the whole process of running your or creating your source code to running the actual server, right? The actual this plugin or webpack allows you to do that. So, and also we're going to utilize plugin. It's called Babel, and what Babel allows you to do, it's so-called transpiling the code. So essentially, do you remember, guys, we discussed before, like we have ES6, right? And when it was introduced, so nowadays still not. I guess nowadays the majority of browsers, they support the ES6, syntax, but still it's a good practice, to use a transpilation process. And in order to do that, you have to use this plugin. I mean, it's one of them, right? But usually people nowadays use so-called Babel, and yeah, I'm going to use Babel, like in my case too. So let's jump into that, guys, and going to let's perform everything step by step. And yeah, the whole video or the whole tutorial is going to be quite long, but I would definitely recommend you to watch till the end. And then when we're done with the setting up, our front end part, we are going to create our first component, like React.js component, and then I guess we're going to move on to backend part. And yeah, that's the actual plan, right? And then step by step we will see, guys, how it goes. But first thing first, let's jump into the creating the front end part or front end app with utilizing React.js library. Let's move on. Cool, guys. So first thing first, I'm going to open my terminal, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new directory. So I'm going to go to navigate to desktop. I'm going to move on to tutorials. So you can see here I already have a React directory, or React directory. I'm going to create a new folder. I will call it React tutorial. Make sure I spelled correctly. Yep. So here we go. And now let's see. Yeah, now it's React tutorial is here. It was created, and cd to React. Come on, React tutorial. So we're here, right? So guys, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch on, I'm going to open my VS Code IDE, and I'm sure, guys, if I don't know, if you would like to use your own IDE, I definitely recommend you to use VS Code, because there are many benefits, and also you're going to stick with, like, the same process as I'm performing. Anyway, let's open a new window. So Okay guys, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open the terminal, and in terminal I'm going to run this command. It's called I believe it's called npm init. So yeah, and you can see here I'm just can follow step by step. Package name, it's going to be in default, version in default, description, whatever, and entry point index, I'm okay with that. Test command, git repository, later on we will be going to define it. Author, okay, Dimitri key, but I don't actually need to specify, it's still going to work. License MIT, I guess, and I'm okay with everything. So, and now guys, you can see the actual package.json was created, and you can see the basic, settings as we undergone that. Yeah, React tutorial and so on and so forth. So yeah, pretty cool. So guys, okay, I'm okay with everything. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to create directory, new directory. Yeah, I will call it source. Hold on. We'll call it app. And then what else? Okay. And in the I'm going to do a bit different thing. I'm going to create source directory, and I'm going to place up in source directory. So, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create in source directory, I'm going to create a new file, and I will call it index.html. Here we go, guys. So that's the actual HTML file that our server first will see, right? So yeah, it's an entry point, I would say. So, and I just prepared basic HTML template essentially, and I call it React.js basics, so nothing special about that. So guys, next step I'm going to do, create the actual configuration. Okay, before that guys, this index HTML is done. I'm also would like to, because we're going to work with the React.js library. What I'm planning to do, I'm going to install all the library that we're going to utilize. Okay, first of all, I'm going to type npm install, and then React library, and then React DOM library, and save. React DOM, save. Let's run it. You can see, guys, dependencies, right? And by the way, guys, I think I didn't mention this package.json file. Essentially, it's a file, like we can call it as a, packages management file, I would say, or your dependency management file. So essentially, all the libraries that you're going to use, in case of our application, they're going to be, they're going to be installed the way we run our commands now, and all of them, they're going to be specified here, right? So essentially, these libraries, they already installed, and you can see all the dependencies, they are here, right? So yeah, that's kind of dependency management file, essentially. That's how it is. So guys, I would like to install more libraries. npm install npm install. I'm going to install the actual webpack. Then I'm going to install webpack dev server, and that's the actual development server, right? So essentially, guys, you still have to run it like the server on the front end. You cannot just straight away open this HTML file like that I already specify index.html and everything is going to work. It's not the case, guys, because we still have to call server, right? Our server still have to listen to us, and yeah, so we have to run the server. And essentially, Webpack, it has a plugin that allows us to run the development server, and that's why I'm going to install this Webpack dev server. Cool. So the next one is the actual Babel, and we need also Babel loader. And guys, all the details, like for instance, what is it, Babel loader? It's another topic, it's another big topic, and I would recommend you, if you would like to understand what's going on, what the Babel is, just go and investigate yourself, because otherwise it would be quite difficult for me to finish the whole tutorial in a short time, and even it's going to be long, right? Anyway, so yeah, that's why I prefer just to move on. Just follow me, guys. So, and when it specify like add 7, it's a 7 version, 7 version. We specify the actual version of the library. So then it's Babel preset. So essentially everything is related to Babel, right? Yes, 2015, and Babel preset React, which is essentially it allows you to work with the React and Babel, right? So yeah, because like in React we use so-called JSX, and we still some stuff have to be transpiled, right? So essentially React it's still using JavaScript, right? So anyway, babel.core, babel.preset.stage-2, and everything is going to be safe/dev, which is going to specify that all this mentioned library, that the library that we would like to install, all of them, they going to be as a web development dependency. That's why I'm specifying this flag here. Okay, let's run it. Hopefully it's going to run. So guys, it's at the moment it's installing, right? And straight away in the package.json you will see the update, or that all this library going to be appeared when they installed, or at the moment when they installed, right? So as you can see, it takes some time. And yeah, so here we go, dev dependencies, right? You can see all the library that I mentioned while installing, they are here, right? They presented here, which is cool. So let's move on, guys. Now what I'm planning to do, I'm going to create the Webpack configuration file, and essentially first I would like to define the actual file. I will call it, okay, first create a file, webpack.config.js. Here we go, and straight away you can see VS Code identified that it's actual Webpack configuration file, right? Pretty cool. So now I'm going to write the actual file, right? Or the actual configuration. So first thing first, I'm going to write var. I'm going to define the path, or going to export the path library. So require And yeah, so path. It essentially allows you to work with the you know, like currently we're in this directory, right? And it allows you like to identify which the directory is like at the moment, you know, and that the directory is absolute. Yeah, that's how it is. So yeah, let's move on. And yeah, next, this dir equal to path dot, and I will explain you guys what's going on here. Oh, come on, resolve. And dist. So guys, what is it all about here? Essentially, this dir, it's going to be, you know, later on, as you remember, we have to, you know, the whole code that's going to be presented in this directory in source, right, app. So like our source code going to be sitting here in this app directory, and essentially you know, this code, we have to grab this code in this directory and, you know, perform some operations on this code, right? We have to transpile it, we have to use a babel, apply babel, right, or run babel through this code in order to transpile the code to ES5, right? So, and here we kind of specifying, or we're telling to, yeah, we just specifying this actual directory where the final code should be stored, like the transpiled code, you know, the bundle itself. It's called bundle, guys. The thing that we finally going to run as a code, right? Not the source code, but the bundle. So hopefully, guys, it makes sense. So, and also, this is the kind of destination where we're going to store the final result, right? But we also have to specify the source where we're going to grab the actual code, which is in our case is going to be here from app, right, directory, and source dir. That's how I'm going to specify it. And resolve dir. So here we go, guys. So I'm just specifying the current directory slash source, which is the source directory, right? And everything inside is going to be the actual code, right? That we're going to work with, the original code, the source code, right? Pretty cool, guys. So let's move on. And now I'm going to specify the actual configuration object. And this is the actual object that our React library going to work with. So yeah, that's how it is. And I'm going to specify config equal to entry, and I'm going to say assert dir plus, and I will explain you guys what's going on here, slash index.js. So guys, entry, it's essentially the entry point. This is the entry point for actual webpack, right? Where it should go. Like index.js, this file, it's going to contain the actual entry point. Because, you know, the most important thing is like webpack should start from somewhere, right? And in order to like grab the whole code, right? So, and this is the actual like the first thing that the webpack will see, right? It will go here in index.js. It's not actually, the file is not specified yet, but we're going to specify it later on anyway. So yeah, and it's going to be, as you can see, it's going to be sitting in app.index. Cool. By the way, guys, I just realized probably I have to divide this tutorial in two parts, because otherwise it's going to be super long and it's a lot of stuff to cover. Hopefully it's not going to be annoying, but yeah, that's how it is, guys. I don't want to come up with a tutorial that would last for up to an hour. It doesn't make any sense. Yep, cool. I think I just would like to finalize the actual configuration and then I will stop. Okay, entry, output, sorry. So here I'm going to say path dist dir plus up. Then I will say final file name bundle.js, and then public, come on, public path, it's app slash, and then I'm going to say, and guys, I will finalize, then I will show you what's going on here. I will explain. Module slash rules. Just follow me, guys. We almost there. Come on. So in here I'm going to say test. It should be fine, I guess. .js, yeah, looks okay. Include source, just source. So now here, oh, by the way, I know what kind of mistake I've done. So source and loader, actual babel that we're going to work with, babel. By the way, why it's not, yeah, here we go. Auto corrector should work, but sometimes it's just not really working. Here I'm going to specify query, and I'm going to say presets, and it's going to be an array, and I'm going to say React, then ES 2015 that we're using, and stage/su, and I think we're almost there. Yeah, I think we're done actually. Cool, guys. So okay, that's the actual configuration file, right? And what it's all about here, output, essentially it's I'm saying to a webpack where we're going to output our final source code, right? Our final code or bundle that we're going to run later on. So I'm saying just app is going to be, it's going to be dist app bundle, right? JS. So yeah, that's how it is. And also here I'm specifying the actual rules or the things, or again, not just things, plugins that we're going to use in order to transpile code, and what kind of files we're going to use in order, to apply this transpilation. For instance, we're going to touch all JavaScript files, right, or JS files, and that's how I'm specifying here. Okay, please babel transpile these like files with this extension, right? And yeah, this is also extra plugins that we're going to use in order like to perform all these operations, right? Pretty much it, guys. So I think I'm done for this part, and because like it's still a lot of stuff to do. Oh, by the way, let's before finish, let's export the actual configuration. In order to do that, as you remember, we should specify module exports and the actual config. Yeah, and now we can export it, right? You can see. Here we go, guys. So this is the actual configuration. Hopefully it makes sense, and yeah. I will see you in next tutorial. Goodbye.